Rise of Kingdoms has a brand new Zenith of Power city skin coming soon, and you might be wondering, is it possible to win a Zenith of Power as a free-to-play player? And so today we're going to answer that question with the help of one of my viewers who is kind enough to share their results from the most recent Zenith of Power that they did just so happen to win. So stay tuned to find out how they did it, but first, what's going on, guys? Cheers. Now, as you guys know, I am a partnered creator with Rise of Kingdoms, which means they support a few videos on the channel every single month, just like this one. But the most important support comes from you guys dropping a thumbs up down below and subscribing if you haven't. Okay, now before we jump into how you can win a Zenith of Power as a free-to-play player, because spoiler alert, it is possible, okay, and it's been done many times in the past by other free-to-play players, and as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure 12-inch PvP had at least one, if not more than one, Zenith of Power city skins on his account before he ended up quitting the game. So it is well documented that it is of course possible to win a Zenith of Power as a free-to-play player, but you may want to stick around for the tips in this video because it ain't that easy. I'll tell you that right now. It's actually quite difficult to win these as a free-to-play player, so you will want to stick around. But the question first is, should you actually try to win a Zenith of Power as a free-to-play player? And the answer is most likely not. Okay, most likely not. And I will caution you, if you're a free-to-play player, if you're going to try to get this Zenith of Power skin or any other Zenith of Power skin in the future, do so with a ton of caution and understand that you may not be able to get it even if you spend as much speed ups, resources, and everything that you possibly can on your account, and you save up for months and months and months, you still might not actually get the victory. So just keep that in mind. It is very difficult to win these as a free-to-play player. But the other thing is it even worth it to try to win this as a free-to-play player, right? If you guys watched one of my most recent videos where we talked about some of the updates that are coming very soon in Rise of Kingdoms, it's less than a week away, and you should check that video out on the channel if you haven't. But in that video I covered briefly this new fearlessly fourth Zenith of Power skin, and I mentioned that for me as a player, I took all the data on my account. Okay, so all of my equipment, armaments, commanders, everything like that, I took all of that and I put it into the battle sim, and I found that this city skin for me, for my 5 army lineup, would increase my overall trades by about 1.2%. okay, and that is better than 1.2% better than the Twilight Fall city skin. Okay, so and look, that's the sim. It's a rough estimate, but that just goes to show that the skill damage on the Twilight Fall city skin is still quite good. I think that the infantry attack here may age a little bit better moving forward, but the point that I'm trying to make here is that working super hard for the city skin may only get you a very small benefit for your account, right? And I know that because it's an attack city skin, it may be a little bit easier to get your hands on because typically attack is not like the most contested thing, but on top of that, it is an infantry city skin, and I think it looks super cool. It's a jade bull with golden horns. It's got a castle on his back. He's charging through the field. I think it looks awesome. Okay, I think it looks epic. It's really cool. Breaking news, everybody, this is Omniarch from the future, and we just got a mail in game 4 hours ago that says, after revealing the exclusive city theme for the spring 2025 Zenith of Power event, we received a ton of feedback from our governors. After reviewing everybody's feedback, we've decided to redesign this city theme. As a result, the Zenith of Power will be pushed back to mid-April. So what, this is crazy to me because I genuinely thought that this bull city theme was like one of the coolest themes they've released in a while. I mean, for Christ's sakes, the last one was a hot air balloon, buddy. It's filled with hot air. Like, that's what a bull is, way cooler than this. So I have no idea why there was so much feedback, but as a result, I've gone back and I've tried to edit out all of the footage of this city skin because who knows what it's going to look like now. The other thing too is when they say redesign, I suspect that they're just talking about the way it looks visually, because why else would they like give themselves a month to do it, right? Like if they're just going to tweak the stats, they would just tweak it and then we're done, right? It would take 2 seconds, but I suspect that they're just redesigning how it looks. I guess technically they could change the stats. I mean, they do always reserve the right to do so, but I don't think that will be the case. I still think it will be a 20% infantry attack skin, but we'll have to wait and see until mid-April. But this really was surprising to me. I feel like if they revealed this exact same city skin, but it was 20% infantry health, I feel like they wouldn't have heard any feedback at all, right, regardless of what it looks like. So I don't know, this is just super weird to me. I mean, but hey, if you didn't like the city skin, great news, they're gonna change it, and I'm gonna be the first to tell you if it looks worse. You're gonna now you've started war. If this new city skin looks even worse, I'm dedicating a 30-minute video just to talking about that. Okay, nah, I'm kidding, anyway, back to the video. So because it's a really cool looking infantry skin, it may have more competition, but because it's an attack skin, I don't think there's going to be that many whales going for it. But either way, it's a micro optimization for your account, and mostly the players that should be going for this are the rally and garrison leaders of your kingdom or of your continent, right? Those are the players that are going to be able to get the most value out of these stats here, and they're going to be able to use it for rallies and garrisons, which matter a lot more than just open field fighting, and they probably have the resources and means to push as hard as they need to in order to guarantee that they get this unlock. So all of that to say, Zenith of Power city skins really are, if you can win one, great, but I really do caution you on trying to get them. It's going to depend heavily on your continent and your kingdom if you can even win this as a free-to-play player or a low spender, right? Sometimes it just will not be possible. There will just be some players that say, I'm getting it and I'll spend whatever I want to get it, and that's it, GG, you're not going to win it, right? So I caution you if you do decide to go for it, and I will warn you that it might not even be worth it for you to go for as a free-to-play player in the case especially of this one. But with all that being said, there may be some of you that still want to go for either this Zenith of Power skin or another one in the future. Maybe there's going to be a 20% infantry defense or health skin that you want to try to go for. The health skin, I will warn you, is probably going to be the most difficult to get your hands on. But the point is that some free-to-play players have been saving up for months and months and months, and they may be considering going for a Zenith of Power skin. And so if you've made up your mind and you said, Omniarch, I don't care about your warning, I don't care about any of that stuff, I'm going to try to go for it because it's a game and I'm going to have fun and we're going to see if we can get it done, okay? And you want the bragging rights, and that's great, and I hope you win, honestly, I really do. So with all of that being said, that brings us to the player that reached out to me personally after winning first place for the Daedalus dirigible city skin. This was the most recent Zenith of Power city skin to hit the game. It is a 20% cavalry attack city skin. I think it looks really, really cool. This one came out around Christmas time, so this was late last year in 2024, and they said, hey Omni, I'm a free-to-play player, I just won the Zenith of Power, do you want to make a video about it? And I said yes, I would love to. And then I'm just the worst person ever, and it's taken me literally months to getting around to making this video, but I thought, hey, it's perfect timing now to talk about this because there's a new Zenith right around the corner. And the player that I'm referring to is DD I'm Elmo in Kingdom 1105. As you can see, this is a relatively new player. Obviously the kingdom is quite old, but they actually only recently unlocked tier 5 units when they pushed for the Zenith of Power, and they basically outlined exactly what they did and what they upgraded and what they had to do to get the first place victory so they can get their Zenith of Power skin. So they messaged me over on Discord and they sent over a bunch of screenshots and a couple of videos that they recorded, just some screen recordings of their Zenith of Power progress here. And as you can see, the rankings at the very end of this Zenith of Power, only 23.6 million power gained here, but DD I'm Elmo coming in first place. Here they sent me this screenshot. Obviously it says you are rank 1 in the Zenith of Power event, your rank rewards are attached, and you can see that they got the permanent Daedalus dirigible city skin. They have the avatar frame, which you can see obviously in game. That is in fact what they are using here. And then you can see they got 10,000 gems, the name plaque, the sculptures, the legendary materials, and some universal speed ups. So how did I'm Elmo actually pull this off in order to get the Zenith of Power city skin? Well, one of the advantages that younger players have in the Zenith of Power event is that this event counts any power gained from building, from research, from training, and end game players don't have any building or research to complete, and so they're forced to just train. But as you can see in this picture, Elmo gained 23.6 million power and is only 66.9 million power in total, which means they actually pushed for some tier 5 unlocks during this Zenith of Power, and they actually outlined exactly what they unlocked in order to get as much power as possible from their remaining buildings and technology, and then did the rest through troop training. Let's start with the technology that they upgraded to gain the most amount of power that they personally could. First, they started with wood steel level 9 and they upgraded it to level 10. And if you come in here, you can scroll all the way down and you'll see that if you subtract the level 9 power from the level 10 power, the difference between these two numbers is the amount of power that you gain from doing this upgrade. And so I'm going to consult my sheet here because I already did all the math here, but basically this is about 496,000 power. And they also did this same thing for bodkin arrows. They upgraded this from level 9 to level 10, and as you can see here, it gives you the same amount of power. From there they upgraded scutum and pavis, and I'm very sorry if I mispronounced those. I'm not familiar with the ancient medieval military technology terminology. Okay, I don't know what this is supposed to be called. I've never heard these words spoken in my life. Okay, why would I? Anyway, if we take a look here, we'll see that going from level 9 to level 10 actually gives you 673,000 power. Obviously I'm rounding here. Okay, if you want to know the exact number, you can do the math here, but it's 673,000 power for both of these. So that's each for scutum and pavis each. And then from there, once all four of these were level 10, they brought medical core from 9 to 10. And once again, we can take a look here and we'll see that actually gives you a massive 974,000 power. And great news, bringing combined arms from level 9 to 10 and bringing encampment from level 9 to 10 also gives you 974,000 power. So all three of these combined is almost 3 million power gained just from going from level 9 to level 10, which is a very nice advantage that younger players have when doing these upgrades for Zenith of Power, or if you're going to do it for like the Mightiest Governor event as well. Okay, from there they unlocked the Royal Guard, which as you can see right here is 485,000 power. Kind of funny how this is actually less power than the final upgrades for these three right here. It's kind of anticlimactic almost. And then they also went ahead and they unlocked the tier 5 archers, which is another 485,000 power. So if we do the math and we add up all of that together, and again I've done a tiny bit of rounding here, but all in all this is almost exactly the number. It is 6,230,000 power that they gained just from military technology alone, which is quite impressive. Now they also did some building upgrades as well, and they did the hospital, because the hospital actually gives you a ton of power when you do this upgrade here. You can see that once again, if you subtract the level 25 power, or sorry, you subtracted level 24 power from the 25 power, you'll see that the level 24 to 25 upgrade will give you 307,000 power, and they did that for 3 of their hospitals. Okay, so that is a total of 921,000 power from hospital upgrades. And then finally they did the same thing for their gold mines. So if we take a look here, you can do the math and you'll see that a gold mine from 24 to 25 gives you 240,000 power, and they did that also for 3 of their gold mines, which is a total of 719,000 power gained from their gold mine upgrade, for a grand total of 1.6 million power gained from those 6 building upgrades in total. So all in all, between tech power and building power upgrades, they gained 7,870,000 power, and that's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. In order to do that from training alone, well, we can come in here and take a look. If we look at infantry, right, a single 1 tier 5 infantry or 1 tier 5 anything is 10 power. So you would have to train 787,000 tier 5 units, like pure training, no upgrading, just pure training, 787,000 units to gain 7,870,000 power, which is how much power they gained from their building and tech upgrades alone. And this is why you can see that a new player or a young player who saved up a ton of their speed ups and everything and is kind of held off on doing these upgrades, this is why they have a really big advantage in Zenith of Power, because I mean that's 750,000 troops, guys, of tier 5 troops. That's kind of insane. Now as you saw from the screenshots, in total they gained 23.6 million power, and so they did also gain a ridiculous amount of power from actually training their troops as well. They sent me a before picture of their training speed ups here. So as you can see, we have a 48 million power player right here with 487 days of training speed ups and 949 days of universal speed ups. And then we have the after screenshot, and you can see that they are 68 million power here, and you could also see that it's 3 days later, and you'll notice that they they have 0 research speed ups, which prior to that they didn't really have any anyway. They also used about 32 days worth of building speed ups, and they also used all of their training speed ups. Of course, they have 4 days left, and you could see that they have 134 universal days left as well. So they used an absolute ridiculous amount of speed ups here to pull out the Zenith of Power victory. So what did we learn today? Well, we learned today that if you plan accordingly and you save up thousands of days of speed ups and you hold off on unlocking tier 5 units for months at a time, you can spend all of those speed ups and resources. By the way, they had tons and tons of resources on their account to make this happen, which means you probably need a bunch of farms to do this as well. But with enough saving and planning, it is possible for free-to-play players to win a Zenith of Power, whether it is the Dallas dirigible that happened back in the end of 2024 or the brand new fearlessly 4th city skin that is coming very, very soon for this spring. So yes, free-to-play players, you can win. However, it is very hard, very difficult. It can be very competitive, and if you've already unlocked tier 5 units and you're already City Hall 25, then it makes it way harder for you because you don't have the benefit of those upgrades giving you a bunch of power, right? So you really have to plan ahead. And is it really worth it? It depends, right? This player's gonna have the city skin for the rest of the time playing the game, right? They're gonna have the bragging rights, they're gonna look super cool. There's only 10 of these on their continent, and they're gonna look awesome, right? So it really just depends. If you have enough foresight and you have the patience to do this, and you're on a continent that could enable something like this, then great news, it is possible. But I want to be very clear once again here at the end of the video, it is extremely hard. You should be very cautious, and the value that you get here, especially for a skin like this, infantry attack, it's not a tremendous amount of value, at least at the time of recording this video. That could change in the future when we have all smite damage infantry, if that ever happens, right? If we ever have all smite damage infantry, well, then you're not going to get any benefit from Twilight Falls as an infantry main outside of your other armies, of course, if they are skill damage as well. But imagine, let's say in 2026 you're running 2 smite infantry, 2 combo calves, and 1 skill damage archer, or 1 true damage archer. Well, all of a sudden Twilight Falls is useless, right? So I'm not saying that these skins are actually like totally bad, and in fact they are kind of future proof because stats are always going to matter, but it's a micro optimization, and it takes months and months and months of planning to do this as a free-to-play player, and even still it's not guaranteed. So I want to give you a little bit of caution, but I did want to just share I'm Elmo's journey and their success story getting this city skin, or I should say getting this city skin as a free-to-play player, and hopefully that inspires you guys and reminds you that these things are possible as free-to-play players, and you are able to do this yourself with enough planning. I do also want to thank IMMO, of course, for providing me with their insight and their experience gaining the Zenith of Power city skin. I also want to thank them for their patience. It's literally taken me months to make this video, and so I do thank you for being so patient with me. I knew I would get around to it eventually, and this just seemed like the perfect time. But guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments section below. Do you think that it takes an absolute giga chad to pull this off as a free-to-play player? Do you think it just depends on your continent and getting a little bit lucky and going for the right skin? Let me know in the comments section below, and while you're down there, drop a thumbs up on the video. It really helps out the channel a ton. It helps get this video out into the YouTube algorithm so other Rise of Kingdoms players might see it. And while you're down there, consider subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell to be notified the next time I upload a Rise of Kingdoms video. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Omniarch. I will talk to you guys again soon. Peace.